Hey guys, how you doing? Demi Monday 4, captain of the Gaia Various Roleplays Guild. D&D is a kind of difficult thing to understand, so I'm just gonna attempt to walk you through it. Essentially, hang on, I copied my stuff into a Word document for ease of access. Now the first thing on here is character name, player name, class, levels, blah blah blah. The next thing actually requires dice and rolling and stuff. The ability scores. Strength helps you move stuff, dexterity helps you dodge, constitution is your general health, intelligence affects your major skills, wisdom affects your magic and your healing, and charisma is how talkative you are to people. And each of these has a modifier. So what I'm going to do is that in order to make ability scores, at least for my campaign, is we use the dice roller. wizards.com/dnd/dice/dice.htm. I'll post a link for it later. What it is it's just a basic thing. Now, stats are at max 3d6. For the sake of the argument, we're going to roll 5d6, which is 5 6-sided die. Going to roll that. And then we take the two lowest, which are these ones, and get rid of them. So that would be a 13. So then we just take that number, and we'll just stick it right there. And that's essentially how you get your ability scores. Now, I'm just going to fill in the crap of that. But there's a certain rate for the ability scores. So if I had, say, a 10 here, then I would have a 0 modifier, because 10 is perfectly average. If that was an 8, it would be a -1. And it goes on like that. The highest is an 18 that you can get without modifiers, which would give us a +4. Pretty simple, right? So we got that. I'm just going to throw in some random numbers every once in a while, just to get the ball rolling here. I tend to use even numbers for examples, and then, because charisma is just a dump stat. Again, based on what your character is, it depends on how you're going to use the character. So if you're using someone who's more spell-based, you want to put your higher thing into the higher spells. If you're using something that's not skill-based, then, you know, you want to use health and strength and stuff like that. Then we have to go through all the classes. I am currently being a rogue, which helps. I did not open that page before I started recording, so forgive me for being an idiot. So we have that. Now the health is, for a rogue at level 3, would be a d6. No wait, rogues get an 8. Rogues get a d8, I believe. And so, on your first level, you're going to get the full max of a die. So if rogues get a d8, that's 8 health, plus your constitution score per level. So at level 1, that would give me 10 health. But then for each next level, you have to roll the dice. So I'm going to roll 2d8, and I'm going to add a 4 to that, because that's the max my constitution is. So that would give me an additional 8 health, which isn't bad. At level 3, 18 health. It's not terrible. And that helps. Combat options down here. Armor class. Everyone has a minimum of 10. But then there are things like armor. If I had light armor, it'd probably be about a +2. Shield. If I'm not using a shield, then that would just be a 0. Your items and stuff have equipment, things, and whatever. My dexterity is not bad. It's +3, so that helps. Then size. Medium size gives a 0. Smaller sizes give a higher number. Larger sizes give a lower number. PM me if you have a question with that. Certain classes get natural armor and stuff. That's written in the class tables, each found on the wiki. All those links are there. So I currently have none. Then there's deflection, which is again class-based. And then miscellaneous. Rings or feats or anything else that gives you a plus to your armor class. I currently have nothing in there. So this total would make my armor class a 15. That means on a d20, with modifiers, the enemy has to beat a 15 in order to hit me. Defense always goes, or the tie always goes to the defender. Now your touch AC is your AC minus your armor, so whatever you have for armor. So this would be a 13, and flat-footed would be minus dex, so that would just be 12. Damage reduction, again, a class skill, you take less damage if you get hit. Experience, however many experience you get. I'll explain experience in a later video, if possible. Then we have the base attack bonus, which every character gets as a level 3 rogue. I have a 2, I believe. Spell resistance is another class thing. Speed. Most characters, Monk being the exception, move at 30 feet a second, because that's pretty freaking good. Then the initiative modifier is normally your dex plus miscellaneous, if I could remember how to spell. So if your dex mod is, say, a 3, and then your miscellaneous modifier is whatever it is, the feat improved initiative gives a 4, then that would give me a 7 total. Now, the way initiative works is that all the characters, when combat starts, they roll initiative. Whoever has the highest number goes first. So you want a high initiative modifier. Then your grapple modifier is your base attack bonus, BAB, plus your strength modifier, plus your size, which if you're medium it's a 0, if you're large it's a +1, if you're small it's a -1, and keeps going like that. So size modifier, and then miscellaneous modifier, which certain people and creatures have that others don't. So, high grapple mods, essentially, I grab onto you. If I have a higher grapple than you do, you're screwed. Then there's saving throws. These are, again, class-based. On any of the wikis, there's the massive table, and it will have all of these numbers as the base. Now, each one goes off something different. Fortitude goes off Constitution. Reflex goes off Dexterity. And Will goes off Wisdom. All of these saving throws will help you later. Then there's the attack's name, just, dagger, ta-da, and then you just put in what damage it does. 1d4 means you roll 1/4 sided die, and that's the damage you do. Then there's the critical range, which is whatever you roll on the d20. If I roll a 19 or 20 while using a dagger, I automatically hit. That's pretty awesome. Some weapons have a range. Some are piercing types, some are stabbing types, some are swinging types. Awesomes. Notes are for special enchantment things, like +1 kick-ass. That's a note. Doesn't really matter. Then your skills. I chose the rogue because rogue has the highest amount of skills. What it is that you have your ability modifier, which is your intelligence, plus your ranks and your miscellaneous. So whatever skills you have, be that hide, move silently, and stuff like that, and my word processor's being a pain in my ass. So you just write down your skills there, you write whatever your intelligence modifier is. I believe it was a 2 up there, no, it's a 3 up there. Your ability mod affects each skill. Hide and stuff is dexterity. Certain things are intelligence, certain things are not. There's a link to all the skills, and it will tell you what each one is. There's also a link for your armor. It will tell you what you have equipped here, the maximum dex bonus. If a piece of item has a +5 dex bonus on it, that means that if your modifier is up to a dexterity +5, then you can wear that armor and be just fine. If it's, however, only a +1, and you still have that +5 modifier, you would only get the +1 to your AC. Kind of difficult there. Armor check penalty is essentially, if you're wearing a heavy suit of armor and you try to go swimming, you're going to sink. That's what the armor check penalty is. Weight, how much it weighs, speed, if it affects your land speed at all, spell failure, this is more important for rogues and whatever, and then special notes, in case it's, enchanted. Same stuff for the shield. Then there's gear, possessions on person. This would be things like rope, food, candle, oil, stabbing things. Stabbing things, if you're not as a weapon, are gear. No, I do not want that. Stupid computer. So, and then the items worn. There'd be a helmet, glasses, scarf, just whatever it is that you feel the need to wear. You pretty much don't have to worry about this all too much. It depends on your armor. If you get like an enchanted helm or something, you would put it here. Currency. Unless I am mistaken, and please correct me if I'm mistaken, it goes 10 copper into a silver, 10 silver into a gold, and then 10 gold into a platinum. I might be very, very mistaken, so please fix it if I am. And that's essentially your currency is how you pay for shit. Everyone will begin the campaign at 500 gold. Now, racial and class abilities. I'm currently a human, so that gives me +1 feet. And then class abilities are things like, move silently, higher skills. Again, on those main class pages, it will have class abilities, and you would write those here. Your feats of skill, the things you can do. This character would probably have alertness, which would give it a +2 on its listen and spot checks, which will help it view the landscape around it. So this is where you would put your feats and skills. Again, there's another link for that. PM us if you have questions. Languages are things like, health, or not health, I'm an idiot. Languages like Common. Common is essentially the English of the D&D world, but there's also Dwarvish, Draconic, the language of the dragons, Elvish, just all the awesome stuff. The higher your intelligence modifier is each additional language you can have. So if you have a +4 intelligence modifier, you can have an additional language besides Common. If you're Elvish, you automatically get Elvish. If you're a Dwarf, you automatically get Dwarvish. Things like that. Spellcasters will need magic, and then if you're a sorcerer, if you're a cleric, you use domains. And these domains are healing, and knowledge, and travel, and things like that, which are also all posted on the websites. Then there's specialty school for sorcerers and wizards, whether they focus more on healing, or damaging, or necromancy, and things like that. Arcane spell failure, this goes back to the armor, is that if you're wearing an armor that has a 25% chance of failing a spell, well then, if you roll the percentiles, which are the D100s in the dice roller thing, if you roll that and then, get below a certain number, then you're going to mess up your spell, and that's going to be bad. And then Turn and Rebuke Undead, that's pretty much clerics only. Your spells known, whichever ones you have, you can write them down. They're all available on the websites. Spells per day, there's a table for that. The DC spell, which is another complicated process that I cannot explain right now. PM me, I'll help you out there. Then there's spells prepared, which are the spells that, for clerics, wizards, and things like that, when they wake up in the morning, they need to prepare their spells for the day. And in preparing these spells, these are spells they can use. Sorcerers need not prepare spells, but they get less to use overall as a result. Psionics are complicated, ignore that. Then there's powers known, primary discipline. This is all psionic stuff. I don't know it at all. Don't do that, you see. For those who are rangers or just like having an animal companion, then you can have these types of things. Now, certain classes give bonuses to animal companions, other classes don't give you any bonus at all, so there's really no reason to have them. But you put your name, creature type, and then you pretty much just do all this here. Most things have a pre-done template, but sometimes you have to fill it in. For the sake of the argument, I am my own companion and I can do a flip. Yay, flip! Alright. So this is more or less going over the template, how to fill it out, what each thing does. Again, this is a really shitty video. Please PM either me or BiteBite for, questions, comments, concerns, and please forgive me for being a complete idiot. Thank you.